Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more barn bass. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. All right, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Penny Bloom Podcast. It is the 231st episode of this here podcast, and it is the finale of the Council of Kenobi. Today, the whole gang is here. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Yo, what up, what up? It's always a pleasure to be here, man.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you, especially on this, a most joyous occasion. I'm also joined by Miles fucking Buttress. What's up, homie?
Just so happy to be here for this. I'm happy to be back after missing last week, and I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't here for this one.
Hey, Miles, let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Cummies?
Oh, just cummies. Too many cummies to count. Cummy overload.
That's a lot of cummies. We are also joined by Tillman McClunie. What's up, homie?
Happy to be back. It's been years in the making, and it's sad to see it come to a potential end. Just kidding. They promised us one season. I'm expecting one season, but
hey, they're apparently very open to a second one.
I feel like it would ruin it, but I feel like it would just ruin it. But let's I'm excited.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Nice to see you, Tillman. We are also joined on the screen below me that I can see and you cannot by KBZ Kyler Barnett. What's up, homie?
Not much. Ready to get into it. I want to preface this by saying I'm on my cousin's work laptop right now, and I texted her when I asked for the password to get in here. I was like, this isn't something that they're gonna like see or something and think, oh man, and like flag this, like red flag this, and just right off the bat, Colton and Miles with the cummies, and I'm just like imagining them in their office, like quality control, listening to this conversation.
They're listening to this whole thing, and they're just going to hear cummies and all of this. And
just all sorts of vulgar shit that's going to come out of
Yeah, well, guess what, Mike and IT? Fuck you, man. If you're listening, follow the podcast while you're here at least.
Yeah, subscribe, Mike from IT. But let's get it. Council of Kenobi, OBI-WAN KENOBI, Part 6, aired yesterday, June 22nd, 2022. Written by Joby Harold, Andrew Stanton, Hassan Amini, and Stuart Beatty. Directed by hers truly, Deborah Chow. What a fucking queen she is for granting us this. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go one by one through each of us, just general thoughts on the episode as it came to an end this week. I was quite satisfied. I wasn't concerned. A lot of people were like, I don't know how they're going to wrap this up. I was like, I don't know. They've gotten a lot done in 30-minute episodes very easily over the course of this series. So if we get an hour, we didn't quite, but if we were to get even 45 minutes like we got, I knew we were going to seal it up nice and tight, very satisfactory. So let me hear how you feeling, Joseph. How you doing? Joe?
I was wondering how they'd get to the end and have, everything work with canon, blah, blah, blah. Basically, how everything would resolve and work its way out for the storyline to come true. And I didn't know that they could do it this well. Like, I thought there would be less in this episode, I think. But it was just very, like, I don't need a season 2. I would love one,
right.
If it's coming, I'm fully here for it. But, like, I don't need a season 2. This added like a whole new perspective in between the gaps of episodes 3 and 4. That's just super cool that we can finally see it and see some, Vader that we haven't seen before and some Obi-Wan that we haven't seen before. So I love this episode. I was not disappointed at all, and I think we got one of the best fights in Star Wars history. in here. So,
most certainly. Miles, you kind of said it all earlier with Cummies, but I'm gonna go ahead and get your thoughts here anyway.
I'm gonna say it again, Cummies. It's for you, Kyler.
Shout out to Mike and IT.
Shout out Mike and IT, Cummies. I mean, there are so many things that, like, throughout all the first 5 episodes, I got pretty much everything I wanted out of this. Like, we got cool fights. We got to see, just Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen just being themselves. We got to see Vader. We got to see all of this cool stuff. And I was just there was a very short list of things that like going into this last episode that I was like, oh, it'd be cool to get this. It'd be pretty awesome. And we just got every single one of them.
Oh, every single one that you could have had on that short list?
I can't wait to get to that later because
every single one of those short lists of like, we're probably not gonna get it. Like, I understand.
Like we're
probably not. Yeah, we're probably not gonna get a hello there or things
we're
like
not
that.
Gonna get Qui-Gon Jinn.
I mean, my main thing, like saying those were things that I was like, yes, let's go. But like the mask, the Vader mask. I thought going into this, I was like, there's no way we're getting that, and I'm happy to accept that. I'm okay with not getting it, and then we got it, and I saw it, and I was like,
hit the floor, bro. I'm like, the realization of them actually doing it.
Dude, when he was in the air and he
I was down,
like, oh yeah, give it to me. Control me, Daddy. Kyler, tell me how you feeling this week, buddy.
I mean, satisfied. I don't know how you could say anything less. I feel like Disney Star Wars projects have gotten a lot of flack, and I'm sure that this one is no joke either. I'm sure there's been holes people poked in all of this because that's how some of these Tillman-like fans really act about Star Wars, Disney Star Wars content. So I just am here to say that if y'all want to be the ones to trash Disney Star Wars content, y'all better kiss the ground that they walk on for this shit right here. Because if this episode alone didn't do it for you, then you can fuck all the way off, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
I don't know if we want to talk about it later, but I'm so pissed that Miles was the first one to get to talk about the mask. It had to be somebody. I was praying it was me. Because it was the day before the episode, and I was driving home, and I was thinking about it, because you guys had just texted in the group chat or something, and I was like, I pray and pray and pray that they do what they did in Rebels when Ahsoka and Vader, and like that moment, especially in that moment with Ahsoka not knowing it's Vader behind there, really, or Anakin behind there. It's so similar, but so entirely different. I think that in this episode, I'll just, I guess, preface my thoughts for later. I felt like they took some creative liberties in a different path, and I thought that I really enjoyed that. This episode as a whole, just great climax. I think probably one of the best finales I've ever watched, at least in my head.
We'd never seen it like that, Like when the mask, sorry, we're skipping ahead, but when that mask pops off, half of it anyway, and we see Hayden Christensen under the Vader suit, and I have the very same reaction Ben has, where like he stops in his tracks when he sees it. He's like, "Holy shit, it's real!" Like
this is the first time he's seen his face since that fight on Mustafar. Yeah. So I mean, just insane. I loved every second of this. Like I mentioned earlier. All the Tillman and the other fans out there that, sometimes like to discredit the Disney Star Wars. Like I said, this shit hot and you know it, so you might as well.
This shit hot and you know it. Tillman, tell me how hot it is.
First of all, I'm hot. I'm hot that this man Kyler is coming disrespecting me like that, putting stuff in my mouth. Listen, Disney shows stay hot. Not that type of stuff. Disney shows stay hot. Okay, they're always great. I love the Disney Star Wars shows. I haven't seen one that I disliked. It's the Disney Star Wars movies that I just have problems with. But this episode, this series, like, this is everything that I wanted. We saw this man be a puzzle full of pieces, and we saw the puzzle get put together in this episode. We got the second opportunity, which we predicted on this podcast, and by me saying I'm talking about the few of you who were like, we get 2 fights, one with him being just a bum, and one with...
I think it was Joe. Joe.
It was me. Or it might have been
was
me and Joe, but I know
think it
I
was
said it.
Joe. I remember Joe.
It was me. I'm Spartacus.
Well,
It
we
was
don't like
all of
Miles,
us.
so we're gonna
It
say
was the
Joe said it.
collective.
It was me. I did it. No, I did it.
It was the Council of Kenobi.
And I love the fact that they brought Hayden back for this, for all the reasons that they used him. Like people have talked about with the mask. I was like, immediately when I saw the mask was chipped off, I said Rebels, and I was like, and hearing his voice, it was different. It was weird. Also, it's so many emotions watching this. I had to rewatch that fight like 4 or 5 times just to try to get everything I could in there. Watch it one time for the emotional impact, the choreography, the each character, watching Obi-Wan assessing him, watching Hayden / Darth Vader assessing him, watching the transition, the climax in the fight. So just a lot of emotions and like you said, Colton, you said in the past, we know that Disney can do a lot in these episodes in 30 minutes. So even though when I started the episode and I saw that it was only about 30 minutes long, 35 minutes, I said, okay, we're about to get this done. They're still going to help us see what we want to see and make it make sense.
They did, man. They really did. Especially like once that fight ends, man, it is beat after beat after beat. They hit everything you needed to hit as soon as that fight ends, they wrapped that shit up nice and cleanly. So what do you guys say we jump into a scene-by-scene breakdown?
Yeah, and I just kind of want to take, I guess, one last second to say that I thought that the effects work, the costume, everything that kind of makes a show, it's that like little extra bit, where it's noticeable if it's not there and you can't place what's wrong, and it's really what it is. A lot of times it's just one or two little things in all of those categories. When a shortcut gets taken there, there's something that feels off, and I just want to say shout out to all the people responsible, because I think in some of the Star Wars shows in the past, there's been a couple episodes or couple moments in episodes where a costume or a character may look slightly off, or anything like that, and obviously people had their grievances with, I guess, the Grand Inquisitor and his look, but besides that, I mean, the Vader costume, the Vader cracked helmet, every little thing about this stuff, the effects work, the fight scenes, all of the little things I thought were done extremely well.
Exquisite.
Yeah, I felt like it really helped elevate, a lot of these big moments and scenes, We talk about score a lot. I know me and Colton, at least, we always try to show some love for the composers and the scores. So, good stuff.
Finally got some classic Star Wars composing in this one, with the Imperial March and Leia's theme slid in there, which is fucking fantastic. Man, I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy we have this all here. I'm sad, hate to see it go, but goddamn, what a way to leave. So
Let's do it, man.
What do you guys say we jump into a scene by scene breakdown starting now? All right, let's do it. Let's get it. Commies in Mos Eisley on Tatooine.
Wow.
We see that fuckboy. Apparently his name is Groff Ditcher. Apparently, and a fitting name for a shitty man. He jumps in front of the line, cuts everybody, and he's like, "Oh, you got something to say?" Same shit he said to Obi-Wan, and Reva was like, "Yeah, bitch, get the fuck out of the way, okay? I got shit to do." And she says she's looking for a farmer named Owen.
I got hop in real quick. I don't know if this man was dependent on Obi-Wan for his livelihood, but he's looking rough. He looks like he's been through it the couple days that Obi-Wan's been gone.
Hey, let's not cap. The man never looked great.
He never looked great, but he looks worse.
They were like, shit, bring Groff back in. Get him back on set. He was actually just living outside of the studio for 3 days.
It kind of looks like they were just like, all right, listen, dude, you got a scene coming up here in a couple days, so we're just gonna leave you outside and let you sit out in the rain,
so we got a challenge
wind,
for you.
the sun.
We got a challenge for you, dude.
We're giving you the Tatooine challenge.
Yeah, so Groff, we got a challenge for you. We're not gonna get to your next scene for a good 3 weeks. We need you to figure out a way to hide inside the building without anyone seeing you. You don't get to bathe. Eat whatever you can find. The scraps, they're yours, but we'll see you in a couple weeks. Good luck, Groff. And he's like, my name's not Groff. And you're like, all right, Groff. And they send him on his way. But he's a fuck boy. He ain't got no powers, and Reva shows him that he's a bitch. And meanwhile, in space, Darth Vader is on the Devastator, that Star Destroyer, and they're pursuing Roken and the freight transport. And Roken's telling the passengers, "Hey, we're almost ready to go, guys. We're gonna get all that power back to the deflector shields, and we're gonna get to Tessin, and we're all gonna get out of here. It's all good." And Obi-Wan walks up to Roken and goes, "Hit me with it." He goes, "Yeah, none of that was true, bro." So the ship's motivator done. We're running out of time. And man, I was just like, I like me some Roken, man. And this episode only gives me hope that we will be seeing more of Roken. If I had to guess, we'll get more. Yes, we will get more to that. But meanwhile, Princess Leia uses Lola to comfort little dude and his mom, and Kenobi has an idea and asks Leia if he could borrow her droid. And back on Tatooine, Luke Skywalker and his Uncle Owen visit a mechanic to get a new little belt for the old land speeder, and they're approached by a man named Darden Scholl. I love fandom. They have all the names. Darden Scholl speaks to Owen here, telling him that there's something he needs to know. Check this shit out.
How did they get those names?
Rev is here.
Straight from the script, or like?
Dude, Colton, I'm gonna be honest. I thought you definitely just knew all these dudes' names.
Maybe in the credits.
No, man. I don't.
In the credits, maybe
they don't say it anywhere. I have no idea. Fandom could be making this shit up.
Yeah, the fandom people. No, they're not in the credits. Not anywhere. The fandom people. They just see a character and they're like, "This is his name."
Darden Scholl.
That's Darden Scholl. Has to be.
Hey, did they name that guy in episode 1? Nope. Groff Ditcher.
And then from there on out, Disney has to listen to them.
Exactly.
They're like, well, we can't say it's not.
Fandom has monopoly on Star Wars names.
Oh, it's not just fandom. If Disney doesn't name the character, whoever comes up with a name first and puts it online, they get to. That's their forever name.
Darden Scholl is my new glove shit.
Yeah. So if you hop on Twitter really quickly, you could name Disney characters. It's just the way it works.
It's true. But back on Roken ship, Leia's quite upset because Kenobi's like, "Yeah, I'm a dip. Vader wants me. He doesn't want you. Y'all are the future. I got to pay you back for everything you've done." And Corrin's mother reminds him, "Yeah, we're going to stick together." And Kenobi's like, "Dude, please listen to me. Y'all are going to die if I don't leave here right now. Please, for the love of God, let me do this." And he convinces Haja.
I love all these people. They're like, "No, we're going to stick it together." And he's like, "Listen,
bro,
bitch, Vader is after us."
He's like, "I get it, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the sentiment. You're really nice, and your willpower is unmatched.
One for all for one. Like, I'm with it, people. But you're wrong."
Yeah, but Kenobi walks up to Haja and is like, "Hey." He cuts Haja off in the middle of saying something. Is like, "Watch after Leia. She's yours now. Make sure she gets home safe." And he's like, "Yeah."
No,
instead of being like, "No, I didn't sign up for this shit. I'm not a babysitter," like he did last week.
Yeah, or be like, "Holy shit, this is literally like the Princess Leia."
He said, "I don't know if
very important person.
I don't know if the word of a liar and a fake Jedi is good to you." And then everyone goes, "It's good. It's good enough for me." And then it sparks the spirit, whatever. I don't know. Something changed in it right there.
Yeah, no, I thought I loved that. I love that line immediately. Just that, you have my word, but I have lied to you on 4 separate occasions so far in the 2 days that I've known you.
Hey, and you know what this sets and I might be reaching here, but you know what this sets the groundwork for me, for Ben? Is trusting some scoundrel type. So when he walks into that Mos Eisley canteen and he goes, "Hey, a Wookiee over here has has exactly what we need. He's got
Yes.
a pilot. They go sit down and talk to him. He's like, man, I'll get you 20,000 credits. Just get us where we need to go. He's like, I know you'll do this shit. I know you'll do this shit, and I know you'll be cool with me. And I think Haja lays the groundwork in Ben's mind for a fellow like that, along with like, Hondo Onaka and shit like that, back all the way back then.
That was thinking of the list that I talked about earlier. That's the one thing that didn't get ticked off my list. I would have killed for some Hondo Onaka, which we have a whole nother season. Who knows? Maybe we still get
potentially a whole other season.
I so badly want to see what they like. I want to see some
Jack
dumbass
Black.
trying Hondo Onaka so badly.
Dude,
Because
what do you
it's
mean?
either
They
going to
have
go
an
really
animatronic
well.
at Disney
Give me
already.
Jack
They're
Black,
just gonna put
dude.
him on screen, and it's gonna be the same
Like, it's
line
either
he
gonna
says in
go-
the ride.
It's either going to go really well and the character is going to be great and it's going to be hilarious, or it's going to go really bad and it'll be so bad that I love it. And so either way, I'll love it.
It's okay, Miles. It's okay. We're not getting another season.
Any hoozle? Owen, Lars, and Luke return to the homestead, and Owen tells Baru, finally we're getting some on-screen time for Baru White Sun. Fucking love Baru. She's like, so I can tell by your demeanor that something is happening. Would you like to explain? And he tells her, Reva is coming, and they need to flee with Luke. And Baru's like, oh,
In the desert.
You thought that I would just leave my home? Nah, we're gonna protect this bitch.
Said,
We're gonna
hold
hold
on.
it down.
Let me get the strap. I'll
Hey.
be right back.
Yo, and I get the impression Owen had no idea
Yeah.
that shit was
Nope.
there.
He had no
Nope.
fucking clue, and she's been fucking She's been
Oh
waiting
my
for
god.
a-
Yo, when
for a-
she tosses him the gun and he's like, what the fuck? I was like, yes.
He's
I
like-
was like, I love Baru.
I know how this works. This is one of those things where he does, he's working, and then any money, he's just like, all right, you pay the taxes, you pay the bills, you do whatever we need to do to keep
He
everything
was
running,
hitting up
you
those
take care of it.
Jawas on the side.
And
like,
then she, he's like, God damn, this is why we've been living so tough these past couple of years. You've been siphoning off money to buy a bunch of guns.
you've been funding the Jawas for years now.
She's been waiting for the day that some stray Tuscans come to raid their farmstead.
Hey, she said, I know what happened to Shmi.
And she is just waiting to unload on some poor unsuspecting soul.
Yeah, I think there's something to that though. I think like Shmi got taken from their home.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope, no, bitch, never again. That is not happening to me or my child. And I fucking love Baru. Always have, and now I love her even more.
I love her, and I love all the Twitter is just
eating it up.
having a meltdown over it. It's great. I love everyone just loving.
Someone said something about the girl bossification of Baru White Sun.
Well, and and then I saw one where it was just like, it was just the shittiest cropped image of the two of them just in front of some random background. He's just like, all right, time for us to leave. And it's just a shitty cropped AK-47 in front of him. Just like, no, we're good.
Yeah. But back aboard Roken ship, Kenobi walks in to greet to talk to Leia a little bit before he splits, and Haj is like, don't worry, I talked to her. And I love that. Love that already. We don't get to see the conversation, but he's like, you're welcome. I set that shit up so well for you. So now she's all calmed down for you. And, while Leia's upset that Kenobi won't be accompanying her home as he promised, she accepts his decision ultimately. And he tells her that her father, Bail, he tells her to tell her father, Bail, that, make sure you tell him I tried.
Damn.
I really did. I gave it all I had. And he goes ahead and gives her a holster here as a parting present. I don't know if you guys recognize the holster.
What do you mean?
Padme?
No. Talas.
It's Talas.
Yeah.
It's Talas, which is cool.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I was like, that's a cute little touch. It's Tala's holster that, she gives him as a parting present. She's like,
Either way, he looted it off of a dead body. It was either Tala's or Padme's. So
yeah, both dead.
That's a strong
Both dead
holster.
as fuck.
Survived a immediate explosion. Fuck.
Right
I
there.
mean,
You know, what they didn't show us is her taking off the holster and tossing it to Obi-Wan, and then she set off the thermal detonator. But
that's okay. But it's so cute how it just holds Lola like at the end. It's like just a perfect little pouch for Lola, and I don't know. It was just, you know, like we even said whenever Tala was talking to Leia, and we're like, oh, this is like Leia's first like rebel that she's like encountering, sort of like this is her first like influence and her inspiration, and like it's like cemented now, like with the holster, like she's wearing it and she knows like whose it is. She felt the numbers, you know, like in everything. Right. So I don't know, it was just so cute.
It's fantastic. I loved it, you know, and it's satisfactory for Leia. You know, she's a little disappointed she didn't get a blaster, and Kenobi's like, well, you're 10. So sorry. But, you know, before leaving, they go ahead and get a little hug in, and he resolves that he has to face Vader one more time. If he dies or if Vader dies, this is it. And as Kenobi heads to his dropship, Roken is like, all right, so we can fix the hyperdrive. We're going to be cool. You don't even have to do shit anymore. We're good. And he's like, nah, I'm going to go ahead. And Rogan's like, I see. So you were big talking about how you wanted to protect us, but it's and that was just like a little benefit of going to fight Vader, was that it was protecting people. Now you're just going to fight Vader. And you know,
before it was all about protecting us. Now you're just all about that smoke.
Yeah. Now you're like, you know what? It's beef now. And I loved it. You know, he ultimately accepts his decision here, and
which. Colton, I'm like, dude, are you more worried? Like, why are we so pissed off about him trying to go fight Vader? I mean, is it more about you feel like you're less protected with a Jedi in your, like, without the Jedi in your ranks? Or, cause I'm like Obi-Wan said, he's chasing me. Like, you would think that he would want him to go, oh yeah, no, that's a great idea. He's coming for you. Go ahead. But like, do you feel like you're less protected?
I take it as like the hyperdrive's fixed. This is before they can track people through light speed, as they figured out in The Last Jedi. If they get into hyperspace, they're gone. They're good. I took it more as like, I'd rather not risking another good person with power.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think everyone's kind of approaching the situation in that Obi-Wan dies here.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're assuming you're going to sacrifice yourself for us. And so he's like, hey, buddy, we're good. You don't need to kill yourself for our escape anymore. We can just leave now.
How funny would it have been if Obi-Wan would have just chimed in something like, "What, y'all don't think I can win?"
Yeah. What you think I'm weak?
Then like,
he like pulls the lightsaber out. He puts it to Roken's throat. He's like, "What's up?"
Pulls the receipts. He pulls the receipts.
You still got something to say?
He says, "Look, here's a training clip I've had memorized and been seeing in my head for the last few weeks, where he thinks he's beaten me, and I still kick his ass."
Hey, I beat that man before when he had all of his limbs.
How do you think this motherfucker got the fucking costume? That was me, motherfucker. I am his worst fucking nightmare.
Yeah, which I think is still.
He's not looking for me. I'm looking for him.
I'm the one who knocks.
Facts. Hey, I like that. Exactly. I like that, Kyler.
Right. You knock on my door. Now you think of me?
I like that, Kyler. Who do you think put him in that costume? But Colton, I think, and I don't think it's anything that Obi-Wan like needs to prove himself, because we saw in the last episode he was like, your need to prove yourself is your problem. I think it's also the fact that this is the definition of unfinished business, not in the fact of like, I need to go kill Vader, but the fact that he needs to face, this is what he's been scared to face, like, for the whole series. Yes, he needs to go do it. In his own mind, I think there is a part of him when he was like, you want to fight him, you just want to fight him. I mean, it's deeper than that, but this is something that he needed to do.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, look.
Like, damn right I want to fight him.
Look what it unlocked for him at the very end. Look who came along finally and decided to show himself. Like he needed to be like at peace. No, he needed to be at peace. Obi-Wan.
Yeah, look at episode.
He needed to know.
Oh, I was just real quick, Colton. I was one sentence. Look at three sentences. Look at episode 3. I don't want to go fight Anakin. Episode 6 of the series. All right, no, we want to smoke. Let's go do this. Like, I have to go do this.
Right. Yeah, it's exactly, it's him overcoming fear as it's another set of trials for him, just as he faced when he went against Maul and the Phantom Menace. This is
Oh my
that all
gosh,
over.
okay, while we talk about that fight, did anyone else notice, I'm sure this isn't a reach at all, I'm sure everyone saw this plain as day, the parallel when Vader puts him in the hole basically, before he throws all the rocks on top of him, and Anakin's looking up at Vader? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the parallel I got there, the chills, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, just like Maul looking down on him when he was hanging on by a thread down there.
Exactly.
Fucking fantastic, and we will get more to that.
Anakin
needs to take some pointers from Obi-Wan about how to fight from the low ground.
Yeah, dude, no shit. He thinks that man don't know his shit. Simple
as that. Simple as that. Simple as. But with that,
man,
on to the next. Kenobi tells Roken that the rebellion needs leaders, so keep leading. And he says, "Oh, I'm just getting started." And I was like, "Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Give me more Talon Roken.
For I'll be back. You'll see me again
for sure.
I hope."
Yeah. And Kenobi goes ahead and flies that drop shit out of the freighter, and drawing the attention of the Imperials, who are like, "Oh yeah, they got one life form aboard." And the Grand Inquisitor's like, "Excuse me, Vader. This is a terrible plan. Do not follow him. Please follow everyone else. That will lead us to many more prospects." And he goes,
Please
no.
just wipe the Jedi out for good. You can go after Obi-Wan afterwards.
"We cannot prioritize one Jedi." He goes, "This is no ordinary Jedi." And Grand Inquisitor's like, "I didn't say he wasn't an ordinary Jedi. I said he is one Jedi. That is all."
While we're on the topic of this Grand Inquisitor, I rewatched Revenge of the Sith, and you look at that species, and the one that you see talk to Obi-Wan in that movie, he has a really skinny head, sure, whatever, looks different. But you look in the background at another one of those species, and it looks exactly like the one we have right here. And he looks younger, and I don't know. I'm just thinking like maybe that's how that species ages, possibly. Or it's just there's differences among different people. Is that so hard to fucking believe?
We don't have the same head shape.
The fuck?
None of us.
Yeah, like some people have brick.
But all of our teeth don't look like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe they age like that, dude. They're aliens. We don't know how the hell they
live.
live.
He's a coffee drinker. Lay off of him, all right?
Look at his teeth. Look, not the Grand Inquisitor's guy in the original Sith. Look at his teeth.
Yeah. He indulges in coffee and chewing tobacco, okay? He's like every baseball
tobacco
out there, okay? It's simple.
He's got other shit going on, all right? Don't make fun of the man's teeth.
That's teethist.
His son went 0 for 4 at his game today, and he had to throw in an extra lipper, okay?
There you go. It's simple as that. But Vader's like, "Yeah, this is no ordinary Jedi." And I don't know if you guys see the face that the Grand Inquisitor makes behind him. He does the little shit where he he bites his lower lip like, "Ooh, I am biting my tongue right now, homie.
Dude,
you are making a goddamn mistake."
I would never in my life, even if I did have these same feelings as him, I would never in my life, even over his shoulder, when he's not looking at me, make a face next to that man. The fear,
oh no, never, never.
I've seen people do a whole lot less and get fucked up a whole lot worse.
Right.
By that man.
Nah, but just a little through line here, with the Grand Inquisitor being like, "This is a bad idea. You shouldn't do this. We should go do all this while we can. Let's go get it." Imagine the coming back on board the Devastator at the end.
Looking like that.
Yeah, coming back and the Grand Inquisitor's like, "Oh, turns out someone must have been correct, huh?" He's going to the water cooler and he's like, "What's up, fifth brother? Did you see what Vader did?" "Yeah. No, I told him he shouldn't. But guess what he did? He did it. And look at him. He's sitting over there in the corner." And the fifth brother's like, "That's really not cool, man. You really shouldn't say shit like that." He's like, "But I fucking told him."
I mean, honestly though, Vader thought he was like unkillable. Because no one else ever has been able to test to him, and he thought like Obi-Wan was still rusty. He's like, he did not think he had even the slightest chance of being beaten.
Homie didn't have the goods. And we shall, again, get more to that later. But back at the Lars homestead, they prepare for the oncoming attack from Reva. And Owen warns Luke, so the Tusken Raiders are out. They're attacking farms. Be ready for this. You stay hidden, all right? And they plan to stay and fight. And he warns Luke, if anything goes wrong, run. Get the fuck out of here. And Owen and Beru reassure Luke that things will be fine. They give him little hugs, and they go on their way. And man, this is really doing a lot for me in my perception of Owen and Beru.
I love just the blatant lies. Like, I get lying, to like protect, like the kid and, maybe like his innocence a little bit and make him not, try and hide the fact that he's the son of Anakin Skywalker and there will probably be people that come after him type thing.
Right.
But like, they know Reva is after him. They know she has a lightsaber. In what world did they think that she was just going to like show up and just like not use a lightsaber and he wasn't going to see her chasing after him with a lightsaber and he's just going to be like, it's just a Tusken lightsaber.
Yeah, I'm thinking they were hoping it didn't get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, but I feel like in that situation, you guys should be like, all right, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, my man.
Was there not? Okay.
Someone's after you. They have a lightsaber. Don't ask why. Just accept it. If you see a red lightsaber, run.
There was like,
little did they know they had plot armor. They had plot armor though.
Wasn't there something on Twitter that went around that like the Inquisitors could use their lightsabers and like twirl them over their head to fucking fly?
Yeah.
Was that not a thing?
Yeah.
That also is you have to watch Rebels.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
Okay. So I was 100% waiting on it this episode. Like when Luke was like quite a ways ahead, I was like, she's about to take off. Like she's like grunting and shit. She's like all kind of tired or whatever. She seemed like she was hurt or whatever. And I was like, she is going to fly. She's going to be like, fuck this shit and just say, hey, Mary Poppins, y'all, just take off.
Helicopter over.
Yeah, that would have made a whole lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, and to speak on that, to speak more to the fact
her lightsaber was broken in half, so she didn't have both sides.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't.
Because you have to have.
Yeah, we don't know if she even has a double because in that
she
fight.
Did.
Yeah.
She did.
They were broken.
But I don't think she does anymore because you have to have both like the double and you have to have like the hilt guard around it for it to spin.
Vader did,
yeah. Because that's what it does. It spins and it literally acts like a helicopter.
Helicopter.
I will say, I don't know in Rebels, and I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a while. I don't remember if they can launch upwards and fly upwards. I think it was kind of something if they were at an incline, they could jump off and it would carry them down.
It
was like a glide. It was like a glider.
So it's like a Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
They can't really fly. It's just falling with style.
I can't remember. I feel like there was because I feel like there was a scene where one of the sisters
just jumped
away,
in a fight, right?
And just literally just is like deuces and just jumps away and just dips.
Yeah, I think you're right. But nevertheless, meanwhile, Kenobi flying his starship down to a little moon covered in some rocky pikes, and Vader orders his crew to prepare a shuttle, and he vows to face Kenobi alone. And as Vader flies down to the planet to meet his former master, Kenobi leaves Lola inside the ship's cockpit. And while Reva approaches the perimeter of the Lars homestead, Vader is landing a shuttle on the barren moon, and Vader finds Kenobi nearby and asks, "Have you come to destroy me? I will do what I must. You will die." Man, I really liked that interaction, Then you will die. Not you will try.
Yeah,
not you will try.
A little different this time.
You will die.
It's interesting to see, I don't know, Anakin, I know he, I don't know. I know he felt like he was going to win on Mustafar, but, I don't know how, I think he definitely would have probably thought it was going to be much more evenly matched. And I like that this one, kind of, he gets surprised by Obi-Wan. I loved that, nature. I also wanted to say, I love the background, the setting of this fight, the contrast between that and the Mustafar fight. Where like
Yeah.
Mustafar, it's so much going on. There's so much like movement going around. Like you go so much farther. This is much more closed in. It's darker, so like it's really just the lightsabers, which
You
make this
see the
pop
light,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Vader's costume, the I guess the reflections off of it, and just all the stuff that this provides, this setting, and this being Vader just makes it so incredible.
Also the like rock
Elements with
towers that they're fighting in between, it gives them a lot to where they can do stuff like Obi-Wan can just be like, all right, sweet, I now have 100 projectiles to throw at you.
Yeah. I also want to say that, like, going along with the effects again, but I feel like, the lightsabers in this, just like the new age, like, I guess, effects and, like even the jump from this to, obviously this from like prequels, but even like sequels, I feel like seeing these classic lightsabers, like I feel like every detail on Obi-Wan's lightsaber like truly pops and gets its attention at points in this episode where like I don't know if in prequels like they had the ability to really do that because I think they probably wanted to they didn't want it to be a focus because they couldn't do it the way that this is done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just thought it was incredible.
Just like the lighting and how like accurate that is to how like if this were real, that's how the lighting would work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so awesome to look at.
I can't
see the blue. You still see the blue on Obi-Wan, but then you also see the red fading over it as his body is further away from the blue lightsaber, where the red overpowers it, and it's just such a cool visual.
My favorite visual from maybe the series now is them walking up to each other and facing off with the giant rock pikes behind Obi-Wan and the giant crescent moon in the background as they that right there pulling up on each other. It's fucking incredible seeing them with just a giant landscape around them.
I also I really like this because it's like we've never seen a place like this before that I can remember. It's not like it was another fight on a water world or another fight on an ice planet or even like a desert or a jungle. We've never seen just like rocky. I mean, we've seen things kind of similar to it, but rocky with like the big rock pillars behind them. It's unique in the same sense that like the Mustafar fight was unique.
Yeah,
We've not seen a lava planet before.
I don't know if you've all seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, but like the fight between Aang and the Fire Lord, like it's exactly like the same thing, and it's like I don't know, it's just kind of cool that like ultimate fight, or just happening in like similar-ish planets. But visually it was that moon in the background was just cool,
gorgeous,
and the light like making it dark so that the lightsabers really popped.
I thought decision. I can't wait. I mean, I really can't wait for cinema or shit. What am I thinking of? The
Joe, you watch them.
What is it? Corridor Crew. I cannot wait for their analysis on this. It's going to be incredible. I hope they bring in. I know they do this a lot for things that like go this big. I hope they bring in like the people behind the special effects, like whoever, because that would just be, this analysis is going to be incredible to watch. And
it's gorgeous, man.
But especially since this will be great to hear. This will have to be a group watch thing because they analyzed and talked about the former the one Tillman thinks is better, the fan made one, the New Hope reimagination fight. So it'll be
a joke.
Cool.
That was a joke.
Okay. Yep.
That was a joke.
Spineless. Can't stand up for it. I'm going for all the beef today, Tillman. Let's go.
Okay, Tillman, I'm really happy that you have recalled that that statement.
Yeah, because
George Lucas conducted that fight. Like that.
Okay,
That was
I thought you were kidding when you said OG Star Wars, and I went, all right, he's got to be fucking kidding.
Yes, real quick.
OG Star Wars, and then pulls a fan-made clip.
Real quick for everybody wondering, there was a fan-made clip that somebody made of the A New Hope fight, and they
We've
redid
all seen
it
it,
better
yeah.
than the fight that was in the movie. And I kept pretending that I thought it was actually a part of the OG movie, but we all knew it wasn't. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, you just know it wasn't. If you're not dumb, you just know it wasn't. So that's what we're talking
If you've watched the movie once, you know it wasn't. Meanwhile, after he goes, "You will die," they engage in a lightsaber duel, and we're back on the Lars homestead where Rava's pulling up, and she ignites her lightsaber, and Owen and Beru open fire on her. They came through blasting, and
once again, Beru is just all about that action.
All about that action, and Rava keeps deflecting their blasts. Meanwhile, Kenobi and Vader continue exchanging blows, and Kenobi attempts to collapse a pinnacle on Vader, and Vader goes ahead and stops that shit, all on his own with the Force, and he goes, your strength is returned, but the weakness remains.
That line is hard.
That line is hard, and
because it doesn't sound like something that should be being said to Obi-Wan. Like, I get the premise of it, but like this sounds like something that definitely, like, a Sith Lord says, like, which I guess obviously Vader is. But I mean, like, this sounds like prequel, like something you'd hear in the prequels.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is this sounds like, yes, some of the lines are a little cheesy.
It's
but
Star Wars.
They all just hit so
it's
well.
All cheesy.
Well, it's all cheesy, and that's.
I didn't think it was cheesy.
No, I'm saying like the prequel, like that's part of the reason why originally everyone disliked them, is because some of the lines are very cheesy, and there are a couple lines I think throughout this, like but the weakness still remains, as you guys are fighting evenly. It's kind of a cheesy line, but it's such a Star Wars Anakin line that it fits so well.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a prequel line, and that's why like immediately as soon as this fight happened, I was like, cummies, I love it.
Yeah, the reason it's not the line itself necessarily that's cheesy. It's the fact that it comes in the middle of a fight. If you're fighting someone, you typically don't take a moment to talk to them.
Yeah. And it's also, if this was, Vader versus Reva, where he just got done just absolutely just stomping you, and he's been toying with you, and he still stomps you. Then he delivers a line of, but the weakness still remains. That line, fair. But you're fighting Obi-Wan, and you guys are still like going toe to toe to an extent, and then you just stop in the middle. Yeah, stop in the middle and just be like, you're still a bitch though. Yeah, and it's like kind of cheesy, but also hilarious and perfectly in line with the character of I'm going to take any opportunity to be as cocky as possible and just be like, fuck you, bitch.
Did you really think that you could defeat me?
Yeah, well, Vader's the most dramatic bitch in the galaxy.
Here's what else I'll say. I think that there's a part of, at this point in the fight, like, Vader's kind of had an answer for every blow. Like, obviously there's been some shots, but, like, I think Vader, to a degree, still feels, like, comfortable in his chances and stuff. I wonder if there's a part of him that, like, wants to try to, like, get under Obi-Wan's skin and, like, try to draw a little more out of him to, like, see what the fight, like, kind of like, I don't want to say level the playing field, because we clearly can see and know that Obi-Wan is time and time again that guy, certified that dude. But
as wise as Yoda and as powerful as Windu.
However, I think that Vader is so cocky, like you've said, like he's so cocky in this moment. He still like let's think about this. Like, this is the youngest we've actually seen Vader. Like, this is when and obviously the anger and emotion that he fights with is still festering. Like, I think there's a part of him that wants to kind of, like, I guess, poke the bear, like, see what happens. Like, see if Obi-Wan can kind of go to a new level. And I think, like, Vader wants that fight, like, to be that way. Like, I think he wants to know that he beat Obi-Wan when he was, like, going as hard as possible.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I think that's also, also why in episode 3, episode 3, why, like, whenever they have their first fight, right?
Yes.
Okay. In episode 3, like, he's obviously pissed that he got away, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's really that mad, because, you beat Obi-Wan whenever he hadn't touched a lightsaber for 10 years.
Right.
Whenever he buries Obi-Wan in the pit here, he has beat Obi-Wan at the peak of his powers, only he didn't actually beat him.
True.
And
But I was thinking, Darth Vader he tries his best. It talks about like in books too and whatnot. He tries his best to bury every past thing that is related to Anakin. Like, he tries his best to completely just be like, I mean, like, part of the reason things on Mustafar is that you could say that's where Darth Vader was like
Born.
He tries to kill Anakin and erase him from the galaxy.
And so I'm like, what I was thinking about when he buried Obi-Wan is like, okay, well, now I can finally bury this final piece of my past of Anakin.
Right,
I'm burying him.
burying himself by burying Obi-Wan.
Well, and he's also burying his greatest failure.
Oh, it is interesting that he still calls him Master though. After that, like, he leaves saying Master, instead of.
Well, yeah, like Count Dooku could call you.
Also,
I
guess same thing though. But is I think that Anakin is trying to that's Anakin coming out of being like, I'm going to continue to call you Master, so that way whenever I kick your ass and kill you, it's even worse.
Right.
It truly is. You are no longer the Master, and that's why he continues to call him Master the entire time, and then once again loses. Which
is why I'm like, they never we never get like a dialogue explanation of like why Obi-Wan, like, why do I hate Obi-Wan so much? Like, but I mean, you can kind of piece it together. Like, besides the fact of him just being tied to Anakin. I mean, episode 3.
Thank you, Tillman, for finally recognizing that subtext exists.
Anyway.
Subtext does exist.
Wow. Well, he made it clear. It's just obvious. This is something different. This is obvious in front of us.
Right. Yep.
He said, I hate you. He said, I hate you with his legs cut off, burning in lava,
Colton, as soon as you said that, Tillman had to just draw everything that he just said, just draw it all back in. None of it happened. It was all a lie.
Well, this was obvious. No, this was obvious that he hated.
Yes, it was. It was. But, Vader uses the Force to hurl that big old tower back at Obi-Wan, and then he uses the Force to cause the ground to collapse under Obi-Wan, and he attempts to bury him under the rocks there, and believing himself victorious, Vader's like, you thought you could defeat me, Master. Walks away. What a fucking prick. What a fucking prick. Don't get too cocky now.
Watching it real quick again. That last big block, he threw everything on top of him, and at the very end he took another just big block and just goes, fuck you, bitch. It was personal. That was personal. Yeah. That last one was just the cherry on top of fuck you.
Yeah, the other ones fall on him. He throws the last one.
Yeah. The other ones he's guiding them in, and then that last one he's like, I'm going for.
You see how hard that one slams in there, bro?
That one he lifts it up for a second just to really get the wind up and
bam
right here.
Bam.
That shit hits, but nevertheless, back at the Lars homestead, Reva is cornering Owen, beating that man ass, and he holds his own for a second, I mean, she's wounded and such, so that's important. But she senses through the Force, and probably just gathers through his fighting ability that Owen loves Luke like his own. And Owen goes, "Oh, he is my own." And I was like,
"Oh,
yeah, say it, Owen. Say it, Owen." But he asks Reva what she wants, and she replies that she wants justice. And Owen attacks Reva with a metal stick, which not much against a lightsaber. And she goes ahead and tosses him off a bridge onto the ground, and she walks into her room, and Beru knocks the absolute fucking shit out of her.
Once again, about it.
Gives her a fucking whack and goes, "Run!" And Luke gets on up out of there, and
then little Luke runs away with his tiny little legs.
Through
the desert.
There's a lot. And he walked out and ran straight. It's not like he went, you know what, maybe I should walk out here and go around to the other side of the building and run the other way. No, I'm going to go straight ahead.
I'm going to leave the hole and then immediately just bullet.
Kyler, we cannot hear you.
What I was gonna say was if he really wanted to try to big brainer, he should have just ran, like, as soon as he comes out, go right around the backside, climb up on top, and just lay there like Snoopy. Just sit up top.
Right.
Well, no, see, big brainer, clearly she can't catch up to him, like she's slower than he is, right? Just run in circles around the little igloo.
Until she dies, yeah.
Until she gets tired.
Luke is younger than her, so she will die first.
She will inevitably die before he does.
Yes.
He
should have ran out there and gone, and then all the sand people would have pulled.
That's how they tie it in. Then, Boba Fett would have just come swooping out of the sky with all the Tusken Raiders.
There you go. It's all piecing together now. But Reva goes on and chases Luke through the desert. But then we cut back.
I said earlier. Sorry, I gotta interrupt you again. I said earlier he was running like a 10-second 40. He got away from their hut quick. He might be running
wheeling.
like he's a future wide receiver in him.
Hey, man,
he runs easy. Look at how quickly he gets away. That's
he's
easy
gliding.
for 240.
Damn.
Yeah.
And she's got this whole fucking like limp thing going on. She can't
skulking after this guy.
Like, look at how quickly he gets away.
Textbook. Never look back. You just got to run. You can't look back. That slows you down. But
he's going first overall.
2024. But on that rocky moon, Kenobi is trying to get out from beneath the rocks that he's been buried in, and he's haunted by some memories of previous fights with Vader, and it's just a bunch of terrible shit that's happened. And he goes, you know what? Nah. Think about Luke. Think about Leia. The shit that matters. And he goes, yeah, that's that. Just blows that shit out of the pit and climbs right on out of there, real nice and easy like. And man, let me tell you, I know he cares about them. I knew he cared about them, but to see it unfold on screen. Do you know how much that scene alone, him remembering them giving him strength in his final moments, reframes even him looking and seeing them on the Death Star and going, yep, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looks and he gives a little smile and a new hope.
I will become more powerful than you could ever imagine.
Yep. Now I'm like,
it's all he
I
had.
become more powerful than you could ever imagine.
He has no one else. Like,
I need you to stop being able to voice characters so well.
But they talk, in the prequels they always talk about, don't let your emotions get to you. Don't let your emotions control you, or watch your emotions, But we see multiple times throughout the shows and movies and stuff where those emotions help them to overcome. Now, of course, this leads Obi-Wan into a rage of rock throwing later on, which we're going to get to. But
not a rage. Don't call it a
get behind
rage.
y'all using rage and anger to define this.
What you're talking about? Look at his face, bro.
He
is calm. He is.
Go back. There's a little bit of a scowl there.
Okay, the
whenever
dude
it
needs
cuts
to
back
defeat
and he's
Darth Vader.
But we're not there yet. I
also don't say it's anger
I was just saying,
either.
It's not anger, but rage doesn't mean anger all the time, But what I was trying to say was these emotions, we've seen multiple times where Jedi, they get these emotions and it brings out a deeper power, a stronger power in them. And honestly, I love this scene also because I love them when we hear the voices and we see the flashbacks. I wish they would have put that part in there where and Rise of Skywalker. I wish we could have saw all of those Jedi characters when they were talking to Rey. They talked about doing that at first, but then they decided to just go with the voices, instead of seeing them. But we see that with Rey, and she finds it, she digs deep inside of, herself. And then right here with Obi-Wan, he hears the voices, digs deep inside of himself, to come out. And, like I said, we're going to get there, but his whole fighting style and, when he was battling changed. Yeah, we're going to get there, Miles. I saw the scowl too. That's what I'm talking about. His scowl on his face. He said, oh yeah, I'll take this.
My thing is that it is not anger. It's not rage. It is resolve. If that strength had come from him remembering the negative things, if it had come from him remembering Vader going, "You will never defeat me. You are weak, Obi-Wan." If it had all come from that, yeah, it is rage. It didn't come from that. It came from him remembering Luke and Leia.
No, you're right. You're right. Because rage, yeah. But then again, violence is tied to rage.
Obi-Wan doesn't want to be in this fight in the first place, though.
Well, yes. Yes, he does.
No.
got violent
he doesn't.
after that, though. He got
The
violent.
thing is, he wishes Vader doesn't exist in the first place, but he realizes that like Luke and Leia they're the future, and Vader is the complete counteract. Like the biggest possible chance that Luke and Leia don't have a future is Vader. So he realizes like I have to take him out. Like it's for
okay,
them.
well, one, he doesn't take him out, and two, because obviously he can't, but and two, he has the opportunity to just flee through through hyperspace and get away, and then go into hiding again. He chooses to be in this fight.
Yeah, but Colton, I will say you're right because rage is violent, uncontrollable anger. So I like that, Colton. I like the resolve comment, but I will say aggressive resolve.
Oh yeah, he certainly is. He certainly. I think it's something that like for me it's just a realization that it's not gonna take his normal fucking shit to beat this guy.
That scene, that face looked a little angry.
Okay, I think like,
but it's kind of like an anger
like,
resolve.
solely against like using passion to fight. It's like, but the Sith, they use their passion and like their hatred, and like they use it to fuel them, and they focus like solely on that. But like in this case, like he's using it a little bit to give him like a little more drive, but like his main focus is Luke and Leia. Like his main focus isn't like, oh, I hate Anakin and I just want to kill him.
I wasn't
like,
saying hatred. I was saying, but he was kind of drawing on the anger and the desire to end the fight on the passion. Whereas previously, we've only really seen him fight like that one other time.
And the Jedi Order's gone
because
he doesn't have to follow these.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can make the argument, Joe.
Like,
Joe, good point.
Jedi Order's
Joe.
gone.
Good point, Joe. Because you can make the argument. You could say he's not a Jedi anymore because he even said the Jedi. And it's called Return of the Jedi because Luke is the Return of the Jedi. You know, you can make the argument, Joe. I do like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad we're all in some sort of agreement here. You know, as Vader heads back to Starship, Kenobi goes ahead and sneaks up on him and attacks his former Padawan, and they engage in another lightsaber duel, and Kenobi uses the Force to hurl Vader back against a rock before lifting all the rocks around them. Nice little parallel to Rey, you know. And at the end of The Last Jedi, for me, it's the vibes I got. But it's much easier for Kenobi here. You know, he's unlocked that part of himself again, where he's like, this is the most at one with the Force he's been in I don't know how long. You know, like the effortlessness that this takes.
Feeling it, dude.
Yeah, he lifts his arms and goes, go forward, you know, like, and they're flying at this man, beating this man down, and they resume the lightsaber duel, and we cut back to Tatooine, and Luke flees into Beggar's Canyon with Reva hot in pursuit, but we cut back to Kenobi thereafter, who is just beating the shit out of Vader now, damaging every bit of him, fucking up his little panel on his chest, fucking up the life support system he has, carving out a piece of his back, and then once he's got him cornered, he strikes his helmet, damaging the mask and exposing.
What a leap, though. The leap he took.
Dude, it reminds me of like
graceful.
some Wolverine shit. Like when Wolverine.
Dude, yes,
I feel like
he did leap at him. Like, yes.
Like,
yes.
Like
Look,
where he jumps
look.
almost like off. Yeah, like jumps like.
Oh yeah, that's some Wolverine ass shit right there.
Boy got hops. Like, imagine he was going vertical. NBA draft tonight, right?
Dude, yeah.
It's on right
He's
now.
going number one.
He's going one. He's going one.
Space
But
Jesus, I'm telling you, that man is nice.
when he strikes his face, he takes a step back. We see that the mask is damaged, having exposed the left side of Vader's scarred face. And I think it's cool that Ahsoka carved out the right side, Kenobi carves out the left,
Did he get that gash in his head from this that we see like in Return of the Jedi? Like is that gash that like is on his head right there? Like, is that from this swing, or has he already had that? Like, was that from whenever he
I
just
think
burnt
that's
like
just
burnt to a crisp? Like,
I think it's
that's
from
just,
Revenge of the Sith.
yeah,
Okay,
his body
fair.
melted.
I didn't know. Like,
I did have the same thought though. I was like, oh, was that when? But then I thought back and I was like, I think I remember them.
Probably whenever he just got burnt. Like
I think it's from like his hair catching on fire.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. But Kenobi looks at him. He goes, Anakin, and Vader responds, he's gone. I am what remains. And Ewan McGregor just acting his ass off, visibly upset, very distraught, and he apologizes profusely. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. And he's like, nah, you don't. Vader's like, you don't get it. I'm not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin. I did. Yeah. Vows to destroy Kenobi as well. And
the eye turn. The eye turn.
How about the eye turn. Who can? I mean, going from blue to yellow. Anakin shining through just a tad before returning back to full Vader, fueling his hatred. But Kenobi responds after he says he vows to destroy. After Vader says he vows to destroy Kenobi, he goes, "Then my friend is truly dead." Paralleling a line from Return of the Jedi, where Luke goes, "Then my father is truly dead," which is 11.
So, if it wasn't the fact that Vader is in the originals, obviously we knew that he couldn't kill him right here. If say that it wasn't a thing, do we think he doesn't kill him right here because it was just a last ditch attempt to try to can I get through to you? Can I get through to you in some way? By me saying, Anakin, or letting you know I'm sorry. Will that sway you in any way? Is Obi-Wan trying to see if he can get the bread and butter?
I take it, that maybe I think no matter what, he falls back on the advice that he gave Anakin earlier in the series. The goal is to disarm, never to kill. I think ultimately that's what he falls back on no matter what. However, I can also get behind the idea that if he doesn't unmask him a little bit here, maybe he goes ahead and does it.
I was going to say, I think if he doesn't unmask him, I think there's a chance he kills him.
I think as soon as he sees Anakin's face.
Yeah, he sees Anakin's face. He accepts that Anakin is he accepts Anakin is dead. There is there is no more reasoning with him. And then he just accepts. Yeah. And then he just accepts. He's like, all right, Anakin is dead, but I still can't kill.
Dude,
I still can't kill him.
Scream,
and so
though,
he just leaves.
Yeah.
him screaming Obi-Wan like at the end there, like, oh
yeah,
because
I was like, how would you, I was like, if you didn't have the original, if this is somebody watching this series, they would be like, oh my God, why didn't they kill him? Why didn't they kill this tyrant and end it all? And I'm like, I was just trying to make it make sense, as if I was watching from a point of view that I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, this is important. That's a really good point. I saw a tweet earlier that was from someone who's not a Star Wars fan. They are a fan of film and movies and filmmaking in general. And they were like, I can't believe Disney took one of the greatest film franchises ever and turned it into a series of meaningless, aggressively mediocre TV series. And for me, I can understand that perspective from people who aren't fans of Star Wars. This show is made for you if you've watched the movies. You can watch it and you can enjoy it, but you're not getting nearly what you should be if you haven't watched the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even close. This is more so than any of the other shows, more than The Mandalorian, more than The Clone Wars, more than The Bad Batch, more than The Book of Boba Fett. you have to have watched the prequels to understand this movie at all.
Yeah, and so,
you know, like
so
or the series.
kind of interesting, I guess, like that, and I guess the parallel that kind of jumps to my mind in another show that's kind of like that. Like, I feel like The Sopranos, like, as I've been watching it lately, I started rewatching it, and I feel like the characters, like, you have to have watched, like, the early seasons and to get into season 4 and 5, when you see how Tony interacts with someone or talks to them, the way he says things, the phrases he says to them specifically, and, like, knowing, like, through, you know, whatever's gone on in that relationship in the show or whatever, you know, like, those words mean more to someone who knows that and can pick that out. Like, I was watching it with my girlfriend the other day, and she kind of said something like, well, why is the other guy, like, so offended by what he said and, like, this and that? I'm like, well, if you, like, knew the relationship and, like, how, like, that was worded, how it would be as slight. And, like, I think, like, there's little things like that make this, like you said, like, you have to watch the prequels because you have to understand, like, what some of these lines and what some of these interactions mean to the two characters that are involved, you know? And, like you said, I mean, you hit it on the head. There's nobody who's doesn't know those things that's going to see this and feel the same kind of, I guess, gravitas of certain moments and things, as someone.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Nevertheless, you know, Vader calls out to Obi-Wan as you know, he dips, you know, goodbye, Darth. Another, like, just chock full of parallels, you know. Goodbye, old friend, and may the Force be with you.
Master of evil, Darth.
Yes. Goddamn. Darth Vader.
I love that
Goodbye,
he called
Darth.
him Darth instead of Anakin. You've been calling him Anakin the whole fight.
Because he was truly dead.
Yeah, and I also love that at the end of this too. How many times have we heard a Kenobi and some shit like that? But he doesn't say Kenobi; he says Obi-Wan.
It's been taken. It's been taken. Obi-Wan. That's exactly what it sounded like. But
I thought you just played the soundbite.
yeah, I know. Like, here, I'll do it again. But I could have swore I just pressed play.
Hayden? Is Hayden in here?
Is Hayden Christensen here? Voice modulator and everything. But elsewhere, Reva's using the Force to dislodge the rock that Luke is standing on and knocks him out.
Just dick move, man.
Oh, real mean, like. And,
also, one of the few times that, like, a chase scene, someone has done something intelligent in the chase scene.
Yes.
She wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try and climb up the rock and chase after. She's like, fuck you, bitch. Get off.
That's true. But en route to the planet, Kenobi is sensing that Luke is in danger, and Reva attempts to kill Luke. She wields the lightsaber. She hoists that shit up, and she's haunted by flashbacks of the Jedi Purge and of Darth Vader, and she sees a vision of her younger self in the place of Luke. And man, I can't tell you how happy I am that we finally have a character who is redeemed by themselves. Like, there's not a outside source that's motivating them. You know, like Vader, his son's in danger. Luke's about to die. He realizes, oh shit, this is wrong. I got to do something. Kylo, you know, his parents die. His mom comes and sees him in his last moments. Rey saves him, and he's like, you know what? Yeah. You know what? I ought to be on the right side of things. I really should.
Well, and also it was something that had been said. You know, it was something that had been said previously to her that influenced her, but it wasn't someone was like, hey, don't, you know, just be good.
Be good.
Just, you know, become a good guy, Ben.
But, you know, Kenobi lands near the Lars homestead and finds Owen and Beru searching frantically for Luke, and Reva walks in the distance, carrying an unconscious Luke, and, you know, we're obviously very, very aware that Luke is not dead here. But
oh my god, how differently this scene would be if she just walked over and just drops his dead body down in front of him.
Yeah, can you imagine? We'd be like, wait, what? But
and then flies off with her lightsaber. It would be perfect. All right.
I don't even mean I don't even mean like for like
Wrap it up. That's it for the
story
Council
wise.
of Kenobi. Kyler said it all.
No, I was gonna say let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's go sign. Let's get a petition going,
Yeah.
like How I Met Your Mother.
Let's
Alternate ending.
change.
Luke's
Yeah.
dead. Obi-Wan kills Vader. I don't know. Just change everything and
Kills
just
Reva right here.
give us the ultimate retcon in Star Wars lore.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, I don't mean like how different this it would change like the story. I mean how different like tonally this scene would be if she just walks over and just drops just a dead Luke down. In front of a dead 10-year-old in front of Owen and and Obi-Wan and them.
Here's my thing is that like they did a really good job of making this scene hit anyway. Like I know he's not dead, but the moments where Owen, Beru, and Ben think he might be, that shit hit. Like I felt that shit. I was like, I know he's not dead, but their concern made me feel it. Like I was like, oh man, that must suck. They really think he could be dead right here.
Imagine Obi-Wan thinks he's dead, just slices and dices her real quick, and then Luke wakes up and he's like, "What'd you do with the nice lady who took me out of the desert?"
But as she lays Luke down, he begins to stir, and everyone gives a good old sigh of relief, and they go ahead and pick him on up away from Revel, walk on away like, yep, we're going to make sure you're not anywhere near this child. So shout out to you for not killing him, but shit. All right. But yeah, they go ahead and carry her on off, and Kenobi goes and faces Reva, and Reva tells him she couldn't do it, that she failed to avenge her fellow younglings at their deaths at the hands of Vader, and Kenobi reassures her, that's a really twisted way to look at that. You see, you actually did them honor by not doing it. You did the Jedi thing. You did this right, and
I couldn't avenge my fellow Padawans. Yeah, you see, I don't think your fellow Padawans wanted you to kill another 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Just maybe crazy thoughts here. But maybe they didn't want you to murder someone.
She said he killed them all, and I couldn't even kill one. That's what she said. Like, she said that. That's like, what? Are you kidding me? Like
she wants to be like him. Like she wants them bodies on her resume. Yeah. She's like, yep, I want to slice.
It's that conflict, man. She's like,
it was so easy for him to kill all of these young children,
and Kenobi's like, hey, it's cool. That's actually really fucked up to think.
No, because he got so much clout for it. He got so much clout for it for almost 2 decades.
Homie's got a really cool armor suit now. I don't
understand. He's awesome. He killed all those young children.
But he tells Reva,
he's such a role model.
Kenobi tells Reva here that by not having fallen to the dark side, that she has chosen her own destiny, and she is free to do so. And Reva breaks down here, and again, Moses Ingram just giving a fucking performance here. This is hella good. And she lays down her lightsaber, and Kenobi helps Reva to her feet and reassures her now that they are both free. And it was just a really
both.
Yeah, like he's like, we're both free of the shackles of
that
the
guilt. And I love that. He kind of like says it. I love that he says both of them, because it also kind of helps her feel like she's not the only one. Like she's not in this alone.
Right.
I don't know, that hadn't really been reflected, I guess, between her and him yet. And so I feel like that's pretty cool that he was like, hey, like, same shit, me, you. Like, we do this.
Same shit, different day.
So gangster that Vader's just like, yeah, I'm gonna put my castle right where I fucking burnt to a crisp.
Right, right.
I'm staying right here, and when I look out from my throne room, I'm looking right where it happened. It's right there.
And
that's just nuts.
It's a great segue here, because the next scene, we're at Fortress Vader, and man,
God, they gotta come up with better names for this shit, man. Fortress Inquisitorius, and just, hey, where are you going? Oh, Fortress Vader.
I still stand by that Fortress Inquisitorius is made up. That shit sound like the most Harry Potter dumbass fucking shit I
Maybe
ever
that was a
No,
heard.
wiki
see,
fandom.
that's also
makeup
what
thing.
that same thing.
Fortress Inquisitorius.
Yeah, they had
Exactly.
Disney never named it. Someone tweeted crazy. They just went to Fortress Inquisitorius, and then Kathleen Kennedy was like, "God damn it, we forgot to name it again."
She's like,
Wingardium Leviosa Fortress Inquisitorius. That's how all those wizard battles went.
Yeah.
But I've never watched Harry Potter.
That's a real spell.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. That's exactly how it went. But we see a repaired Darth Vader informing a good old hologram of Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious.
Yo, called that one, baby.
Yes, we did. And he says that he's dispatched probe droids to hunt down Kenobi and all the nearby systems. He said, "Fuck the ones that are far away. We'll try around our home." And the Emperor notices, this seems to have agitated you. I have to, wonder if your feelings are clear on this matter. Another little callback to Return of the Jedi. A lot of those in this one. And
you seem a little pissed off, my friend. Did you get your ass beat or something?
Yeah, what the fuck happened, young one? But Vader responds, Kenobi means nothing. And I'm loyal to you. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, man, that shit hit. I loved seeing.
That has to be one of the most recognizable sounds, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I can't think of any others that are
guaranteed.
even close.
Maybe
what's crazy is that song is almost probably more famous than the actual Star Wars theme itself. The people probably can just go hear bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum and go, yeah, that's it's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts. But after all this on Fortress Vader, we're back on Alderaan where we see Princess Leia getting ready, getting dressed, and combing her hair. And Priya Organa pulls up and is surprised and delighted to see her daughter rocking a little holster with some pimp-ass gloves. And
honestly, probably just happy that she's there and not, in the woods.
Or dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably just happy that she didn't, stick one of the servants to dress up as her and run away again.
I will point out this outfit she's rocking matches perfectly with the outfit Luke is wearing whenever we see Luke again here in a second. But she joins her parents in receiving a guest out on the landing platform, and Leia tells Bail that she has discovered other ways to lead, but she'd like to change some things. And Bail's like, "All right, that's cool. Then we'll change them together." And I was like, I love Bail and Leia, man. Give me all the Bail and Leia content. And
I was really when they showed the boots and the whole outfit, getting ready and stuff. I really expected, since they were framing it oh, it's her feet and this is all that stuff, trying not to show her head and stuff. I was just waiting for her to do they show the face, they turn the camera and finally you get the face. And I was just expecting the haircut, or not the haircut, but I guess the hairstyle, the signature.
Oh yeah,
and that would have made me that would have made me emotional seeing her see Obi-Wan with that haircut.
Oh man,
I love
nothing taken from the moment.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It's a little ahead. I love that she's excited to see Obi-Wan. As soon as she sees Lola, she's like, "All right, fuck off, old man."
Oh yeah, it's the best. Leia, she asked Bail here, so more cousins today, and she's like, "No, we got a little surprise for you." And Ben comes through the little door of the ship, and she's like, she grins a little bit, she gasps, she's real excited. Then Lola cruises behind her, and she goes, "Lola!" and she runs towards him, moves Ben out of the way, and
honestly, if she's if she's a little more grown up, she doesn't just run over there. She just lowers her shoulder into Ben, boom, throws him out of the way. He just yells "fuck off," and then runs up to
Lola. Old man. But Kenobi gives Leia a little hug here, and is like, "Who am I to separate a girl from her droid?" And I absolutely loved that. And he goes over to Bail, gives him a hug. Man, I'm sorry. I feel I recall a little conversation about how they might have been referring to someone else when they say they fought alongside her father in the Clone Wars, and I just again want to go just Bail and Obi-Wan have a good relationship. That's who we are referring to whenever we talk about who he fought alongside in the Clone Wars. It just is. But
well, I think it's probably more a reflection of like, who would you be prouder to say you fought alongside? Like, I think that in the if you're getting to create the narrative, I guess essentially, wouldn't you want it to be that one rather than, oh yeah, I fought alongside your father. He killed people your age, like a lot of them.
You're right.
Well, but Anakin, no one knows Anakin, and very few people know Anakin and Vader are connected. And to everyone else, Anakin is, the hero of the Republic, saved the, Chancellor Palpatine, badass general, and then he dies at the end of the war mysteriously.
Well, in Order 66, along with all the other Jedi.
Yeah.
Damn, that's what people just thought.
Yep.
That he was just taken out. Dang.
But
oh, dude, this next little conversation, I was balling, dude, right here.
Oh yeah, I was basically tearing up the whole fucking time, and Bail,
but here, man,
Bail pulling up to Kenobi and being like, I don't think we can ever repay you, and Kenobi going, yeah, she already did that, like she, and I love that line, like she is what helped me find myself again. It is because of Leia that I can be comfortable being who I am again. And, oh man, that just made me so happy. And, Bail expresses concern about the growing might and, balls on the Empire, which just a nice little bit of foreshadowing for the fact that he dies along with the rest of this planet here in about 10 years.
Damn. That's rough. Yeah, I always forget that this planet just blows up.
Yeah, it's real painful. And Kenobi tells them that they can count on him if they ever need anything. And he walks on over to Leia, and she asks him, what he should do now. And she tells him, I think you should get some sleep. And the little laugh he lets out, like, this is everything for me. This is all I've ever wanted. Seeing them embrace, nice big hug and chuckles and just nothing but love here. And he decides he should ref. And Kenobi tells Leia here, I told you that I didn't know your parents, but I want you to know that you are wise, discerning, and kind-hearted, and these are qualities from your mother. You also are passionate, fearless, and forthright, and these are gifts from your father.
I love that you said
also
gift.
Love killing children. Also a gift from your father.
That's Vader, not Anakin. Man.
But he tells Leia that her parents, yeah, he tells Leia that her parents were exceptional people who bore an exceptional daughter. And he tells her that he wishes he could tell her more, and Leia goes, "You really don't need to."
While she looks back at her.
At Bail and Bria.
God, come on, man. Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
That's my mom and dad. That's my mom and dad.
This little girl, like actual little girl in real life, like, is just acting her at, like.
Vivian Lyra Blair, I'm just waiting for 5 years, 6 years down the line when she can play like a teenage Leia, and we can we can just have a whole series based around that. Like, please, for the love of God, let that happen. But
can you imagine the kind of like Clone Wars Padme shit she'd get into?
Oh, it'd be fucking fantastic. It'd be so fucking great. But before departing, Kenobi tells Leia that she can turn to him for help. But she needs to be careful. It could endanger the both of them, and they watch as Kenobi gets on his ship. And I love that, you can turn to me for help, but be careful. It's got to be quite the situation. And, we see that situation,
I'm kind of a big deal, I'm Obi-Wan.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And like when she departs with him and she tells him goodbye, Obi-Wan, not goodbye, Ben. Like she's like, that's the Jedi name I was looking for earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a Jedi name, not Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan. But
Ben Kenobi, that's a bitch name. Obi-Wan though, that's a Jedi name.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. But back on Tatooine, Kenobi departs from his cave with a little toy in his little sack, and he rides on his EOP down to the Lars homestead where Luke is playing around, maybe working a little bit, and a little farm hand type beat. And Owen asks what Kenobi is doing there. You know, you said you'd get the fuck away because we just almost died like a week ago, so we'd appreciate some space. And Kenobi's like, yes, he should be allowed to just be an ordinary boy, and I see that now. The future will unfold as it will, and that's cool. I understand that you are the only one who needs to protect Luke now. And he's like, all right, good to talk to you. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here. And Owen's like, all right, fuck, Ben. All right, come on, man. You want to fucking meet him? And he's like, yeah. And he walks on up to him. Luke sits there.
It's the giggle with the yeah, and then just like, I can't believe it worked.
But you know, he walks on over to Luke. Luke's looking at him, approaching like, look at this crazy old fucking hag. And he walks up. He goes, hello there.
He fucking says it.
He fucking said it, man. He fucking said it.
Cummies.
Overwhelming cummies. And yeah, man, it made me.
That was for you, Mike and IT.
I don't think Obi-Wan's ever looked harder than he does here. Bro,
what?
That fit he's rocking, the goggles around the neck and the brown vest and the white suit, like, that's a fucking look. He is serving. He is serving here.
Sheesh. What are those, like Louis Vuitton goggles?
Yeah, he's got the fucking Oakleys around the neck.
That's my space Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a pimp. That's a pimp right there.
Damn. Lightsaber on hilt. Showing.
Yeah, he's not hiding no more. And after meeting Luke, he hops on back on his EOP and rides into the desert. And as he pulls up on Beggar's Canyon, he sees a little blue figure out in the distance, and he turns, and there we have it, folks. There's Qui-Gon Jinn, and he goes, "Oh, I was beginning to think you'd never come. Oh, you were just not ready to see." And Qui-Gon says, "Come on now, we still got a ways to go." We watch him head towards Beggar's Canyon, and we cut to black. And let me tell you, nothing about the end of this episode makes me go, like, yes, we left it in a place where absolutely, no, you don't need a season 2.
Could be the end.
Yes.
If you know, world,
they
you know,
certainly set it up to the point where they're like, yeah, we have a direction we certainly could go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there's still a lot that can happen.
Oh,
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Also, as I continue to try every time Tillman said that this was the end, money talks, and Disney always listens to money.
Hey, here's the thing. I would be much more in the camp of like I said, I don't need it. I definitely don't. You know, I love this as a send off for Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. But Ewan McGregor loves this character, would love to come back to it. Hayden Christensen loves being a part of Star Wars, would love to come back to it. Kathleen Kennedy has talked about how, hey, we planned on it being one season, but if the viewership shines out and everyone's down, yes, we'll make it happen. I'm going to tell you right now, my prediction for the final episode is that this is not the final episode. We're at least getting
an episode next week.
Miles, say my name again, Miles. Say my name again, Miles. Say it again. This is the end. They should just leave it right here. They should leave it right here. Bring him back for other projects.
Oh.
But for this series, it ended on a good note. They got what they needed to get done. Don't ruin it. What does he need to leave Tatooine for again?
He won't need to leave Tatooine.
To
He won't
learn
need
how to
to, but
become
I want
a
him
Force
to.
Ghost.
What is he gonna do
He
on
needs to
Tatooine?
learn how to become a Force Ghost. He becomes a Force Ghost. Yeah, and yeah, he could do it on Tatooine, and Qui-Gon could just be there with him and teach him there. But be way cooler if he
you went to
has to
somewhere
leave.
with a
Yeah,
strong connection to the Force.
yeah,
maybe,
where Qui-Gon had
maybe-
to go.
Hey,
remember?
maybe he pulls up to Dagobah. He pulls up
And
to Dagobah
also-
with Yoda.
Also, there's one thing above all else that is reason enough for him to leave, and his name is motherfucking Hondo Ohnaka.
Oh my
That's all
god!
the reason Obi-Wan needs. Hondo's gonna pull up in his ship, say, Obi-Wan! And Obi-Wan's gonna dip and help him with whatever that man needs.
My god!
I'm making a prediction right now that Obi-Wan is going to learn Force projection like Luke did in The Last Jedi to fight Kylo at the end there. And Obi-Wan is going to Force project himself on Tatooine to look over Luke. And that's how he's going to go off and train with Qui-Gon and Yoda, but he's going to Force project himself on Tatooine to make Owen think he's still there and I don't know, just to keep a check on him.
But you don't.
And then that is how Luke is going to learn Force projection through Obi-Wan whenever he's in isolation.
But see, you just don't
and
make
Obi-Wan's going to pass it down to him.
a whole series
So
about that though.
Huh?
I'll say you can't. Well, you wouldn't make a whole series about him learning how to
Tillman,
Force
this
Ghost.
can be a 2-episode series. I don't care. I want more Obi-Wan.
I don't think like I said, future projects I can see it, but I think they created a picture of what they wanted it to be, and they made a masterpiece. And we knew it was going to be a masterpiece.
And they did. And you know what? I would love him in other stuff, but I want more Obi-Wan focused stories. If he's in other projects, it'll be, he'll pop up here and there to do whatever, and then, he'll be like a 1 episode, and that's it. I want camera on Obi-Wan for majority of the episode.
Just
give me Ewan McGregor. I mean, I'll be happy if they decide, you know what, we made it, that we're happy with what we made. He'll be there we'll make other shows that he'll be involved in. I'll be perfectly fine if that happens. So long as Hondo is involved as well. But I want more Obi-Wan.
Kudos to Liam Neeson also. I hear you, Miles. I just wanted to say real quick, kudos to Liam Neeson for showing up for that $1 million paycheck just to show up for 10 seconds.
just to say,
I'm
I'm
more of a movie guy. I'm a little too big for the TV screen. Fuck off, Liam. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. What do you guys say we do a rating?
Do it.
Ooh,
And
I will
interestingly
kill
enough-
every single one of you if you don't rate this correctly.
So, here's the
Okay.
thing. You guys haven't been here for the conclusion of a series where we did a rating. We not only rate the final episode, but we do the same for the entire series.
Yay!
Therein. So, weird place to jump in once again. But we got 3 ratings. We got our scale 5 stars enjoyment, just how much it connected with us. We got out of 5 stars, how well it fulfills its genre, and this is Star Wars. It's probably going to do pretty damn good. And then just critically, as far as filmmaking is concerned, out of 5 stars, how's a rating there? We take the average of those 3 scores, and it becomes our rating for the episode and later on the series. So let's do this. Out of 5 stars for enjoyment, are we all in agreement?
5.
Yeah.
There's not even
Five.
discussion.
No
to be
hesitation.
had
I didn't even specify what we were in agreement on.
5.
I knew that we were. So yeah, 5s for enjoyment, 5 for the genre. So critically,
I'm actually thinking of 4 for the genre. I felt like it really wasn't a Star Wars.
it felt more emphasis on the star, less on the war this week.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I don't know. I might have just paused the screen at one point and just let it play out, but I don't know. But,
5. Book it. Film 5. If anyone says anything else, I
No,
will fight
thank
everyone's
you.
ass
critically,
off.
Tillman,
come
Tillman,
critical.
stop.
You have to be
Tillman.
critical. Do not let
No.
your this is critical.
Nah, motherfucker, I spent the whole episode talking about all the little shit and all the fucking colors and the settings and the costumes
For
and the
one
visual
scene.
effects and
For one
everything
scene.
and the camera work.
one
No,
scene.
fuck you. I talked about it with Leia and the fucking shit. Fuck you. No, 5.
One scene.
I give it a 5. Whatever everyone else does, I don't care.
I second the
eyes,
aggression from Kyler.
I don't care if it's Tillman. Of course it is. That dude has no good taste ever.
All right. So we got a 5. We got a 5 from Kyler and Miles. Tillman, argue your side. What do you feel? What do you feel this episode deserves?
Tillman, if you say anything below,
Miles, this is not your time.
4-9.
Tillman,
Trash.
I'm going to go with 4. Film. Thinking character development, emotion, portrayal of characters, scenes, cuts, lighting, timing,
editing,
continuity. I'm gonna go with 4.95.
I'll
I was
accept
gonna
it.
say.
That's a 5. I accept. That's a
I was
5.
gonna
It's not
say,
perfect.
Except-
5 is
Tillman,
perfect.
if you-
give it a 5, Joe. We're doing it.
I was gonna say, Tillman, if you come out here and say some bullshit like, I really felt this episode was a 4 or 5,
No,
I was gonna find you.
He was fucked as soon as I read the last episode of 485. You couldn't argue that the film was any better in the last episode
Well, I
than
mean,
this
you guys
one.
are making
So he
biased-
can't go any lower than a 485. So he
Yeah.
was fucked. I was like, yep, he wants it's a 5. He just won't say it.
Well,
so that's
no, it's
fine.
not a
I
5.
know.
And
It's not
here-
a 5 because a 5 is perfect, and this episode was not perfect.
Bullshit. I
What was
loved
not
it, and it was
perfect about this
perfect,
episode?
and
Wow,
I
you're
critically
biased.
not, dude. I'm
biased.
telling
You're
you.
biased in hatred.
Guys, you're saying everything in this episode went perfectly. Everything was perfect. Everything.
Yes.
The category is film. I spent 90% of my dialogue this episode, besides the other, well, I won't say 90, 30 was spent trashing your ass around the fucking podcast. But fucking 65% of the remaining 70 was me talking about how much I loved this aspect of it, which is all little filmmaking shit, not the fucking meat and potatoes. So,
I will
fuck
say,
you.
I think I am more comfortable giving this a 5 than I have been any other episode of television I've ever rated. I will say I'm not entirely against Tillman saying it's not perfect. There are individual things that if you allow this episode to be
Watched in a
15
vacuum.
minutes longer,
15
10
minutes
minutes
longer.
longer,
15 minutes longer.
10 minutes longer.
10 minutes.
Would you not have liked to see the conversation between Luke and Obi-Wan? Would you not have liked to see Haja and Leia's discussion right before Haja goes, it's cool, like we're good? Would you not have liked to see, like, all we got with Qui-Gon is just we're getting started? You know, like,
Listen,
you've seen me for the first time.
Colton, they have to save some stuff for season 2.
I'm done. Miles, you're an
Well, and
engineering major.
obviously in season 2, we're going to get flashbacks to the meeting between Luke and Obi-Wan and the conversation between Haja and Leia. I mean, obviously that's a first
Oh no, I'm
priority.
not the Haja Leia. I'm saying the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
No, yeah, I know.
Because-
I was being a smartass.
Because Miles, as Colton has said, we're not professional critics, and I promise you, the professional critics, nobody is giving this 100% perfect rating. Okay.
Wrong. I am a professional critic. I just got certified by.
See, that's why,
the
and
National
Tillman,
Television
I love your perspective there, and I agree with it completely. But it's exactly why we are able to give it.
Yeah, true, factual.
See, so like, if it's not a 5, it's a 4.95, and then it's still basically the same. It's a 4.97 or 4.98. So like,
I mean,
basically a 5.
and I would
Tillman,
give it
I get what
I
get what you're saying. That yes, we're not professional. You know,
none of us are.
film reviewers. None of us have studied film. You know, we didn't like go to school
for
and study
yourself.
film and
I did,
filmmaking.
so I did.
Yeah, okay. Not really.
I did. Minor in
fucking-
film, ladies and gentlemen listening. So
Yeah,
I'm
well,
telling
you
it's
didn't
not a
major
5.
in it,
It's
so
not a 5.
you didn't major in it, and so none of us are gonna, be able to nitpick and be like, well, I did notice where the, they could have done this instead, and it would have been. slightly better.
Colton just did.
It's a 5. Get over it.
No, it's not a 5. But like Colton said, we're allowed to do this because we are not professionals. I'm not even professional, and I minored in film, but I could just say it's not a 5 completely. But for the sake of this podcast,
facts don't care about your feelings. It's a 5.
Joseph,
Listen,
you're an engineering major, Joseph. Don't
shit, that is Ben Shapiro.
listen.
I retract
I'm
my
a big
statement.
dumb film idiot, and Obi-Wan said hello there. I saw half of Anakin's face, and Qui-Gon appeared. So it's a 5.
5 out of 5.
That sounds like enjoyment. That sounds like enjoyment. Go ahead, Colton.
I'm with you, Tillman. I do get it, and if you had said a number like 4.9 instead of 4.95, I would have lobbied with you harder. But every time we've ever gone 4.95, me and Joe, at least one-on-one, we went, you know what, fuck it, go ahead and throw it the 5.
Yeah, I only threw it up there because I couldn't. I was like, I can't go against everybody else here.
No, I feel you.
And, also, whenever you put the last episode at 4.85, it really gets hard to go go below a 4.95 for this episode.
So, in other words, if you can hear Tillman speaking there when he says that he didn't want to go against everyone else, further reference to Mike's comment earlier about him being spineless. Not only are his takes freezing cold, he can't even stand behind them. That's how bad they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a minority here, I know my place. Go ahead. As a black man,
I stand. Hey, Tillman, you have my full support.
See,
so let's
black people. Everybody here.
I know what that means. Colton just wants to get the episode going, so he just agrees with whoever's the one still arguing. So I know how this goes. Hold it up.
You know what, Kyler? You're right. You know what? You're right. Let's do
Kyler, why is the dark side always the wrong side? Huh?
You know what, Tillman? Tillman, you're right too. You're right too.
It's 'cause I'm black, Kyler. I said it.
Let's do the overall. So, as the series goes, the whole thing considered, how are we feeling about the enjoyment rating here? Are we comfortable giving this a 5?
5 out of 5. Not even a discussion.
Thank you.
Enjoyment wise, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Genre-wise, same. Never dip below a 5.
No, you know what? I know we gave every episode 5s. This is 4.9.
This is a 3.
This is a 3 genre-wise.
As far as the film making is concerned, I do think we had episodes that were stronger than others. Most definitely.
Also, if you look, it got better as it went on.
Let me ask you this. So we've gotten Mandalorian season 1 and 2, Clone Wars season 7, Bad Batch season 1, The Book of Boba Fett season 1, out of Disney Plus television. Are we of the mind that this is for sure a better season of television critically than any of the others?
Yes.
I can't put it above Clone Wars, maybe. I don't know.
Wait, Clone Wars? Yeah, no, I can't put it above Clone Wars, but above Mandalorian and above Book of Boba.
It's the best live action Star Wars.
I would be. I'm as comfortable as could be to say that, and I'm inclined to say it is better than the Clone Wars. But I also just think about how much happened in that last season,
which is also not fair because Clone Wars is longer and has way.
That's true.
We're just talking about the last episode.
Okay, here's my thing though. When you guys think about the last season of Clone Wars, all you're really taking into account for the critical rating is those last 4 episodes.
Of course we are. We're talking about the Siege of Mandalore.
Is that the order? Yeah, the Order 60. Yeah, Siege of Mandalore. Yeah,
Siege of Mandalore. So like it's not less time that you're really thinking about.
I was talking about all of Clone Wars. You know, my bad. I was talking about all.
No, we're talking about the last. Season 7, right?
Oh,
yeah, season 7's the only Disney Plus one.
Which you would also have to include the first however many episode, which was Ahsoka running around with the twins.
And the Bad Batch's first arc.
And the Bad Batch arc, yeah.
Let me put it for you guys this way. The way that I'm approaching this is a 4.5 out of 5 stars as a season, critically. I think by the end of it, narratively, it tied itself up in a really satisfactory way. Episode to episode, it flowed really well. It didn't feel like a movie split into 6 parts. It did feel like 6 episodes of television. For me, I do think that there were episodes that were weaker than others, visually and vice versa on the writing side as well. So I don't think it's a 10 out of 10, but I'm comfortable putting it at a 9 out of 10. So like a 4.5 out of 5 sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to hear what y'all think.
I'm with that. In my head, I'm sitting there looking, kind of trying to like make averages in my head. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I did
yeah,
the
Kyler. Yeah, Kyler. Okay.
I did the math real quick. It's a 4.52, so it'd be right on par with what we
that's solid.
like combining it all together.
Falling in line. Look at you guys.
The average
Falling in
it's
line.
a 4.83 for the episode.
No, I was saying for the film between all the other episodes.
Joseph, what you got, Joseph? What you got, Joe?
What do you, I'm agreeing with the 4 or 5.
Look at you
I
all.
just think that's
All of you.
sweet.
Till, how you feel?
I'm comfortable with 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right. Look at you falling in line. 4.83 out of 5 stars overall as a series. That's pretty damn good. It matches the highest, the second highest single episode that we rated here, which is dope. Dope, or third highest, I guess. But again, it was a pleasure. We've been doing this since The Mandalorian season 2 was about to come out. We did The Mandalorian rewatch in anticipation of season 2. We've been here through the Book of Boba Fett, all the way through the Bad Batch, every other MCU television phenomena, and none of it seemed to matter as much to me as Kenobi did. And therein, the Council of Kenobi has been of the utmost importance to me. So thank you all for having been here for this ride.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
Colton, it's crazy after all the podcasts that we've done over all these shows. It's crazy that Disney finally gave us the script. Like they finally told us what was going to happen. That's why all our predictions were so accurate.
Yeah, if you were listening to us closely enough, we spoiled the whole thing.
Yeah, like we threw in some wild cards in there.
Yeah, you know, it was coded. It was certainly coded.
Yeah.
But if like, I'll tell you guys this: if you go black out every like third word that I say in episode, I think it was 2, the code ends up being exactly what it ended up being the script of the final episode. So like, if anyone wants to go back to our second episode covering part 3. And edit out every third word, it's exactly the script of this episode. So please do.
Yeah, they didn't give the script to us. We actually made the script and gave it to them.
I said gave it to us. What I really meant was, it's crazy they finally let us start writing shows for them.
Yeah, you know, like
exactly.
The writers crew says Joby Harold and Andrew Stanton and Assign Immediate and
Stuart
Beetle and Deborah Chow, but those are just our pen names.
Yeah.
Those are just our pen names.
Any predictions for season 2 or what's to come in the future?
Season 2.
My only prediction is there is some sort of sequel series. Maybe not even a season 2, but something that is set directly after it, or as a result of the events here spinning off.
I'll accept that.
I can get behind that.
I'll accept that.
There might not be a true season 2 of Kenobi season 2,
yeah, you
but
dumbass.
All right, listen here.
Say it, Blackie. No, I'm playing.
Are you behind that?
I'm black. I'm black, by the way, everybody.
Almost hit me with almost made me do a spit take. I'm glad we're all in agreement.
I did really like the Yoda one. When Colton was saying that was something that had crossed my mind. We haven't really gotten Yoda in any time since.
We did though. And
I can't imagine that
the second to last Clone Wars series, I'll say we did get Yoda.
Well, here's my I guess here's my bias towards why I think maybe we could, if this would happen. It's just because we saw Yoda go through this training, which is really the only time we've ever seen it actually commence. We saw it in Clone Wars when he has to go through it, and I just think that I'm sure Qui-Gon is going to advise him of what that training is, how rigorous, and like what that is going to do to you. And out of anyone, Obi-Wan has more shit that he probably would be deathly afraid to see in those like moments than like what maybe anyone else. I mean, he's got Sabine, he's got Anakin and all that, Padme. He's got a lot of shit that he would have to combat. Some skeletons in the and so I feel like that could be an interesting one, as like Yoda would be a good person to consult and seek out in that moment. I could see it happening, but that's of course going with the assumption that we're going to pretty much hard continue from this point.
Also, I just can't, as I said earlier, I just can't imagine Disney passes up on just the opportunity that doing some form of sequel series to this gives them.
Oh, absolutely. And I think
it's literally taking candy from a baby.
Oh,
we
and
are
here's the
all
thing.
children begging for more Obi-Wan.
Beyond one sequel series, I know we're getting spinoffs. We're
Yeah.
getting a Colin Roken thing. He'll be in something. We're definitely getting a Reva spinoff. If you had to ask me, we're getting Reva after her change of heart here, doing something.
Probably getting lots of flashbacks to.
Okay,
Right,
can
right.
we lump in a prediction then? I guess can I at least?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think in
No,
my
you're not allowed
eyes,
to
I
have
could
predictions.
definitely see Reva in a spinoff or a sequel of some sort bumping into Cal Kestis. I know that's not really a hot take, but I feel like I could see those two paths converging if she is reverted to the light. Like I could definitely see that.
All right. What if she doesn't meet Cal Kestis, she meets Kinlan Voss?
Okay.
And we get a couple Jedi who are, or not Jedi, but Force users who haven't always been on the right side of things, but have, are trying to make their way now, trying to make it right. And, I think that'd be pretty fucking dope. Any last thoughts here for the Council of Kenobi?
Yes, thank you to Disney for giving us our first 3 live-action lightsaber fights in almost 2 decades. Kudos to them. Kudos to them.
I'm not even going to respond.
I'll actually hear out.
The sequels don't count.
I knew it was coming.
I understood that was what you were implying.
I need the people to understand.
See, some things don't need to be said explicitly. Some things are permeating through subtext.
Well, when Rey sucks as much as she does, I have to. Kyla's here.
Oh God, I feel just the heat. So moving on though, I love all the predictions that this series has given us the opportunity to have. Joe, you typed it in without saying anything. I will kill to see a Vader series. Also, I 100% agree with you. Ultron is actually Palpatine in a skin suit, controlling it all.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother. All right, so with that,
wait, Colton,
we conclude.
Can I just say that on a serious note, we've already talked about this, but God, do we love Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and I'm happy that they're getting the appreciation. Like, it meant so much to me when they had the interview before the series was released, and they said, we talked about this before. They were like, we didn't know people liked these so much. It was so negatively received on our end because we just had the critics to look at. There wasn't Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Bumble.
The people who were old enough to give reviews online didn't like them.
We're all a bunch of crotchety old people who hate fun. And now all the young kids who grew up watching this have finally, they're all of us, we grew up watching these and loving them. We're now adults and we can tell all those crotchety old people to fuck off and quit ruining our fun.
Yeah, and thus the cycle will continue when those who are 10 years younger than us tell Tillman, look him in the eyes and go, the sequel trilogy is fun as fuck, you old bastard.
No, nobody's going to say that. Anybody who watches the prequels just knows that those are just horrible.
Man, do you even hear how you just denied, like you just went, the original trilogy fans thought the prequel trilogy sucked and we realized just how good it was. And now you just went prequel trilogy era, hate the sequel trilogy, but the sequel trilogy era are wrong for loving it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Colton, see, that's where you're wrong. Everyone else is wrong. We're correct.
We're Gen Z.
So the original trilogy people had it wrong.
My final
we
prediction
right.
for the series, final prediction is that in 10 years' time, there will be a child who finds this podcast, goes to Twitter
just adds Tillman and goes, "Fuck you, old man.
Fuck you,
the sequels
bastard.
Are great."
Okay, the sequels are not horrible. I retract. I was just saying that I like the prequels better than the sequels, and I like the original better than the sequels. I feel like the sequels are the worst of the 3. But I just also, like I said, to end, I'm happy that these characters and these individuals as people, are loved and appreciated. The fact that some people had to dig their careers out of a hole. Natalie Portman got backlash from the prequels. And so for her to be successful after that, Hayden, he was fine going and living on his literal farm. He was fine living on his little farm / ranch and raising a family. But, he came back, and the fact that he gave it a chance, That was great.
It was great. It was so good to have them back, and I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, this shit just made me happy, man. This shit just made me happy. And with that, we will conclude the Council of Kenobi. If you would, head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where on Sunday you will hear our Miss Marvel halftime heat check. Me and Joe linked earlier today to talk the first 3 episodes of that show. We look forward to wrapping it up here in about 3 weeks whenever the whole series is out. You'll have to go check that out, along with over 30 hours of exclusive content. And then on Monday, regular scheduled programming, Westworld Season 4 premieres Sunday night, and at least me and Joe will be here to cover that shit on Monday. Very excited for you to join us on the Westworld Watch. That's our next show in line. Very excited. Join us on the 52-year journey through film every Friday, where just tomorrow, this Friday, we're covering 1995 7. Very excited for you to hear that. If you would, head to Twitter, follow @PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure.
Oh, it is always a pleasure to have you, and thank you, Miles fucking Buttress.
Oh, man, it's the end, but I'll be happy to come back whenever you ask me to come back, whether that be a show upcoming soon or House of Dragons in a bit.
Yeah, perhaps next week, even perhaps not.
Perhaps,
mayhaps indeed, and this time we mean it.
Maybe.
We were also joined by Tillman McClunie III. This might be your last time here, so go ahead and give them a real good goodbye.
Just know that if I'm not on here again, it's discrimination, and I want all of you to take to Twitter and sue and cancel culture. # cancel culture still alive.
Nah, till I promise you, this is not your last appearance on the podcast.
# cancel Colton.
You see how
cancel.
Y'all see how quick
it's perfect.
Y'all see how quick he switched up when I said cancel culture still alive? Hell yeah. Guys, thanks for.
I can't win. I was on your side for most of this episode.
All right, guys.
And I can't win.
I love you, but I love you. I love you, Colton. I love you, Joseph.
I love you too, G.
Tyler. I love you, Miles. I love providing hot takes on here. Thanks for having me, and thanks for accepting them. Because I love to get the conversation and the frustration going. But when I do take this seriously, I love that I'm able to dig deep and point out things and start actual decent conversations besides the pipe bombs that I like to. Except I'm not like Joseph. I don't mean all of them, but some of them I do, and you guys still put up with me.
I will always put up with you, buddy. I will always put up with you. You're one of the OGs. You're one of my faves. I love having you on this fucking podcast. So I'm gonna have you back every chance I can. I look forward to having you back on soon. And on the screen below me, that I can see, and you cannot. Thank you very much, KBZ Kyler Barnett, for being here.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to do it always, and this was a special show for me to talk about. And, obviously, us prequel babies, this is something that, I feel like this has probably been out of all the series and all the episodes and things we've analyzed on here. I think this one hits closest to home in terms of, the impact on us. I felt like we were talking in something that was more in our ballpark and arena than probably anything I've ever analyzed. So I thought that was just great. Glad to go through it with y'all. Absolutely happy to be here.
Absolutely.
I was waiting for it, man.
Thank you. And with that, remember, peace, love, and bloom. And Tillman's wrong. Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, bitch!